Good morning, Lake Norman. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam right here about town with small business today. I'm sort of pumped up. I'm fresh back from working the poll since 8 o'clock this morning. Early voting started in Cornelius at Cornelius Town Hall and will be running through November the 4th. We will be there today from 8 a.m. this morning until 7:30 tonight. Some long days ahead, but looking forward to it. I have enjoyed every minute of today out talking to citizens, out seeking votes as I'm running for reelection again, and just hope it all works out. But a great day in Cornelius, the sun's shining, and people are voting. We had hit around 69 people, voters, at around 10:31 this morning. We got to have a lot more than that, folks, so turn out and vote. But let's get on to the topic of today. I am so fortunate to be talking about one of my favorite topics, and that topic would be small business. You know, I'm a banker of 50 years, and I have been dealing with small business here in this community for that long. It's been a great ride for me as a banker, and I continue to be a banker up at United Bank, and I just can't get away from it. I love helping business and small business to achieve their goals and their dreams. That's what we're all about, and there's a lot of dreaming going on in our community. I've got as my guest today Mr. Small Business himself, head of the LKN Small Business Network, the founder of that. One of the guys that I respect so much here in our community because he does so much for many, many things, but particularly small business here in the Lake Norman region. So, Jim Vogel, welcome.
Well, thank you, Mayor. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, Lake Norman. Hello, Cornelius. How are you?
Absolutely. So Jim, tell me about this idea of the LKN Small Business Network. It's been going on for a while, right?
Yeah, this is our ninth year, Mayor. Believe it or not, it's been
Wow.
9 years. When we moved from the Triangle, I was in Apex. We had a small business network there. It was free, totally inclusive, apolitical, always welcoming. There wasn't one here. You know, you were in other groups that you paid money to join, and then you needed a substitute and all those kinds of groups. I said, why don't we just start a free one? So, of course, you know, my wife Susan, I said, hey, what do you think? Is it a good idea to do it here? She goes, go for it. So we put a Facebook page up, and we had about 200 online. We went offline to Waterbean, and
Wow.
our first, I walked in with my laptop, figuring nobody would show up. 8 people showed up,
Absolutely
and today
awesome.
we have about 14,000 people online that align with us. Our Cornelius Times Facebook page and our Lake Norman Small Business Network Facebook page, probably 10,000 people on that.
Incredible.
It's incredible how we've become the voice of small business. We've grabbed that and run with that. And we do charity work and all sorts of stuff through that venue.
It has really evolved over the years, and uh, you know, Jim Vogel and this effort with small business is absolutely a marketing genius. And you know, small businesses need help in marketing. So Jim is one of those that is, I would call, an expert in that. So tell me what you do for a living, Jim.
Well, I own a social media company. It's called IMU, Identity Message Understanding. And we do small business social media. If you're a janitor, if you're a plumber, if you're a dentist, anything in between, we help you with your small business. Like right now, I just picked up a gentleman doing Christmas lights, and we're doing his Facebook page, and we're doing all sorts of stuff with them. But I've always had a soft spot for the mom and pops
Sure.
that get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make what they make, to work all day long, and they don't really have the time or energy to say, "Hey, I'm going to knock on the mayor's door." Right? They're busy,
Sure.
so we tend to speak on their behalf, and that's really how this all started.
Well, I've enjoyed attending your networking meetings. Tell us about that and how that works, in addition to the social media and all the promotion.
Sure. Well, we meet on weekly Wednesdays at um, Oak Street in the Brick Row. And I
Sure.
think it's 19721 Oak Street, number 9,
Right behind the Kane Center for the
right
Arts.
behind the Arts and behind the police station. That's exactly right. We meet at
Great.
9 o'clock in the morning. What happened was we grew so fast between 2014 and March 11th, 2020. On March 11th, 2020, we had over 100 people in the Old Town Public House. And I said, guys, there's something going on. I don't know exactly what it is, but they're telling us we have to social distance. And people are saying, well, what does that mean? I said, well, if I can't hand you a beer, I'm far enough away from you, which
Mm-hmm.
got a joke at the time. Little did I realize what COVID would do to the world, let alone to our small business network. We have about half the congregation that we did prior to COVID.
That's incredible. The impact of COVID, it really took away 2 of my years of service as your mayor. Uh, we were shut down, so times were different, and to lead this community through those times was certainly a challenge, and to keep everybody pumped up and informed. And small business went through the same thing. It was quite a journey. It really was. So so here we go. These meetings. You have other gatherings for your group as well, right?
Yeah, tonight we're night side and day side. Day side weekly Wednesdays, night side with first Fridays and final Thursdays. Then 110 is undergoing construction, so we're not going to have a first Friday this next month in November. But tonight at D9 at 5:30, you want to meet some really great small business people. We'll be at the D9 on Trey North, right at 115 there. Can't miss it. Just put in Google or at artificial intelligence it, and you could find it very easily.
Exactly. One of our great Cornelius breweries, and we're really proud of those. And that segment of our small business is certainly growing. And they're really major employers too, aren't they?
Yeah, Andrew Dersowitz, he and I have been friends for almost 10 years. He gave us an opportunity to have our meetings there without any rent, that kind of thing. And so I've always been a loyalist when it comes to people that have been good to me and good to our community. I am as loyal as a dog. So,
And it's fantastic to see another one of our small businesses, Ben 110, uh, with Andy Upchurch, with him growing like he is. I mean, he has taken over some additional space. That is going to be a show place when that construction is finished. And I know it's not quite begun yet, but it's very close.
yeah, whenever you're trying to expand, and that's the challenges of every single small business, there's so much red tape, so much bureaucracy, so much inertia that sometimes you can't get the things you want on the timeline you need because everything has to be signed off and all that kind of stuff. So he'll be opening up a lot bigger bourbon bar, and again, you cannot find a better selection of beverages than there at Bin 110.
Yeah, it's an incredible experience. I think it's going to be even bigger and better once he introduces the food concept. So I'm very happy to see a business like that grow in our community and be successful.
Great
Absolutely.
partners with us. We really appreciate you guys.
Great partners. He knows who got him to the dance, Jim, or who contributed just a little bit. So I love these small businesses, and it's such a pleasure for Sharon and I to go out and spend our time at restaurants and feature them. We were just out at Port City one day this week, and I'm yet to post that. Mayor Woody Washam here, and we are about town with small business, and we will be right back.
About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam will return after this short break on the new 1059 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The WSIC yard sale is this weekend. Come by the radio station and enjoy a day of fun. The world famous Pat Shannon will be hosting a special edition of the Home Ad Show. Live music, food trucks, bouncy houses. Selling starts at 6 a.m. this Saturday. Yard sale spots are free. The WSIC Yard Sale, 1117 Radio Road in Statesville. Saturday from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at KerriganFarms.com. KerriganFarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa is coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures with Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must be scheduled in advance. Santa will be at Birkdale between November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit BirkdaleVillage.com. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Buy your tickets before they sell out. KaneArts.org. Eric Jones the Magician this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. KaneArts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies today, but that temperature is going to continue to get warmer. We're looking around 78 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon. As you head through the rest of the day into the evening, clouds will roll in. We'll have partly cloudy conditions and an overnight low around 54. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
About Town continues now. Here's your host, Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning again. Mayor Woody Washam here, and we are about town today with small business. Mr. Small Business in our community is known as Mr. Jim Vogel. Jim, welcome back. Good to have you for
Thank
the
you,
next
Mayor.
segment of our show as well. So we're just talking about this great organization in our town, which maybe to a few is a well-kept secret. It shouldn't be, but the LKN Small Business Network has been around for 9 years. I think we said a minute ago. And, not only does it promote small business in our community and give them a setting for networking and communications with each other and comparisons, and they learn from each other, don't they, in these actual meetings?
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of partnering. 2 chiropractors will be sitting next to each other saying, what was your best day? What was your worst day? And it's really, really great to see that synergy. What makes us different, I think, is that we give back to the community. Unless you're a service organization, which they give back, we're just a regular business meetings. But we decided a long time ago that we need to give back to the community.
Absolutely, and that is so cool. I think that's part of what keeps people coming. And you're gonna get these big numbers back. I know you're headed there. So tell us a little bit about what you do as an organization back into the community. What do you give back? And I know it's a long list.
Well, we have a lot of people that we serve. It's usually $1 a day at our meetings because it's free. People will donate $1 a day every meeting, and guess what? That adds up. Some people actually
Absolutely.
on regular, they have their credit card and they debit money into our organization. We work with the Men of Destiny out of Charlotte. We have a skilled trades education fund, which we've had since 2017. We've been working with Men of Destiny since this year. And I was just there in Kannapolis at a meeting with the University of North Carolina. They had all of their teachers, faculty come to visit these skilled trades kids. And it's so important to get them off the street. We watch the news just the other day, about gun awareness and how these kids get in the wrong directions. We need to pull them into a place where they'll make more money than me in 3 years. Skilled trades is so important. We work with Bags of Hope. We work with Tools for School.
Great
Basically,
causes.
we have a Kiwanis Thanksgiving dinner where we buy dinners. And then we also have Toys for Tots with Santa Claus, Dr. Zimmerman, here on Catawba. So we do a lot of things. We do the blood drives. We have 5 blood drives a year. In fact, next year we'll be adding the Harris Teeter here, which is right around the corner in the Cove. And we also, as you know, have Antiquity Harris Teeter.
Yes.
And we're going to try to get as many donations as we can to help the community.
That's incredible. But not only do you allow small businesses to network with each other, you allow them opportunities to give back to their community. It's a good thing to do to make sure that small business knows that giving back is a major component of their success. There's a lot of wonderful examples out there in our community that I've worked with over the years that don't quite get that. But I think by example, this is a integral agreement of what goes on. You've got to want to do that as well, I think, to be successful here in our town.
Yeah, well, Cornelius is a giving town.
It is.
You notice all the charities, all the service organizations, everybody pretty much knows everybody. It's only 15 square miles. So you pretty much see faces all the time that you're very, very familiar with. And it's just a very loving community. We're so glad to have a house here in Cornelius. We were in Davidson, and it was a great community. I like the Mayor Knox, great guy. But our fit was better here in Cornelius for us, and we made a good decision to come here.
That's fabulous, and we were so glad. It was a big win to get Jim Vogel and Susan Vogel back in Cornelius. So it was a big day for us. So we're glad you're back here and can call yourself citizens as well. So anyway, we want people to call and ask us questions, or call and tell us a little bit about your special business out there. And you can do that by dialing 844-STUDIO-4. That's 844-STUDIO-4. Give me a call. Mayor Woody Washam and Jim Vogel, Lake Norman Small Business Network, and we'll be glad to address your issues, concerns, or just let you talk to us. That would be a fantastic opportunity. So, Jim, a lot of challenges with small business. Is that correct?
The climate right now is ever changing.
Yes.
The geopolitics that's going on globally is it's just incredible what's going on. And of course, it filters down to our small businesses. I mean, loans have become more expensive. Food stuff has become more expensive. Trying to gauge your clients and your customers to give them the right value. And we spell value VALYOU.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope everybody else does too. But we want to make sure we're presenting the right value to our customers and our clients, because it's not about us. It's about them.
Correct.
So that's how we focus in on. And again, please call in 844-788-3464 and get yourself online. I've asked you guys yesterday at the meeting, please call in just to say hi to us and let us know you're listening.
Yeah, that would be encouraging to just hear from some of those wonderful small businesses that we know is out there. Of course, as a banker, I know the challenges of small business. I've seen some of the lessons that they have learned. I've seen some of the great opportunities that they've taken advantage of. We actually there's so many success stories out there. One I just heard, actually, this is one of our candidates that's running for our Cornelius town board. His name is Bob Menzel. And, Bob started a small little packaging company, moved it to Mooresville, and really created a growing environment that was a big demand for folks. And that is the packaging of meats and things of that nature. So the business grew and grew. He grew his business in Mooresville. I think there were up to 3 plants that he ended up having to manufacture some of these packaging materials. And then lo and behold, around the corner comes Omaha Steaks and buys him out. And so Bob is now retired. It's a great, wonderful story and a great business success story. But that can happen to any small business if you stay tuned in and provide quality service and quality product. I think it's just a fabulous story. So now Bob is, as I said, retired, lives in the peninsula here in our town, and he's running for town board. What a great guy. So, just to tell you that hang in there, small businesses. There's light at the end of the tunnel. There's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And, those times will come for you as long as you work hard. And hard work, I think, is pretty much at the core of all this, don't you think, Jim?
Absolutely. You have to get up and have a purpose. It might not be physical work. It might be community work. It might be visiting the seniors in the homes across the area here and saying hi, bringing your dog to them. You know, there's so many people out there that you can touch. Every single person we've ever met in our lives has a story. We just have to slow down and pay attention to that story and listen. We ask people why they do what they do, not what they do. We already know what they do. And
Exactly.
we also say, please tell us about yourself. So when you're asking people why they do what they do and tell me about yourself, and then you be quiet, man, they're on center stage.
It just erupts, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It really, really does.
That's the key to networking. I mean, we knew no one but our dog when
Right.
we moved to the area here in Lake Norman.
Right.
Now I have all you guys that
Exactly.
are in my phone,
Exactly.
you know, which is great.
You know, I've always thought that there's probably a three-legged stool component to small business, and that would be certainly the business itself, the business owner, a great CPA because you got to keep your thumb on the pulse, and a great banker. And you know, if you've got all those three things aligned and you market it properly, then somehow it just works out, and that's really quite a good story. Uh, but you know, the bumps in the road that came with COVID really tried our souls, didn't it? I mean, it really did.
Well, look at yourself, Mayor. COVID really, I think, damaged the Trump administration. I think it really challenged the Biden administration. Yet you were pretty smooth all the way through this COVID thing.
Oh, thank you.
With Cornelius being, you know, we couldn't even leave our homes for such a while.
Exactly.
And, you know, and it was, I think, the quiet fortitude that you instilled in our community that really helped us through that. And I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, it was important to keep people informed about the dangers of the disease itself, and you sort of had to protect yourselves. But at the same time, you know, it challenged people to get creative and figure out other ways of marketing ourselves. And thankfully, many small businesses here in our town did that. I can never forget, as soon as things started reopening again, it was wonderful for Sharon and I to get out into some of these restaurants once more. And I'll take Choplin's, West Choplin, as an example.
Good guy.
He's a great guy, and talk about giving back. He sets a pretty high bar for, you know, small business as far as his give back is concerned. So he has drug himself through COVID, through very, very tough times, and come out as a shining star and one of the finest you know, restaurant facilities here in our town. Many other great examples of that, but we sort of took Wes under our wings a little bit, promoted him, and it's a great story with a wonderful, wonderful ending. So, you know, that certainly makes a difference. You know, it's fun to sit around and talk about small business today, and you know, we're not done. We've got a couple more segments of our show, and we've got the best of the best in small business. Mr. Jim Vogel here with us, and Jim will be right back with me. This is Mayor Woody Washam from Cornelius, and you're about town with small business. We'll be right back.
More About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Folks, you know Randy Mary sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Mary service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, Randy Mary and Statesville.com.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies today, but that temperature is going to continue to get warmer. We're looking around 78 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon. As you head through the rest of the day into the evening, clouds will roll in. We'll have partly cloudy conditions and an overnight low around 54. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Make your work easier with Eagle Rentals of Troutman and Statesville. Eagle Rentals has generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor care equipment, pressure washers, lighting equipment, and lawn care equipment. Plus, Eagle Rentals has construction equipment like forklifts, bobcat loaders, backhoes, excavators, and more. Reserve online at eaglerentals.com. That's eaglerentals.com. Fall is here, and Lil Shavers has the supplies you need. Wheat straw, pine needle, grass seed, pelletized line, landscape edging, and railroad cross ties. Got a deck that needs staining? Lil Shavers has PPG paints and stains at prices you can afford. Fall is a great time to replace your furnace filters at Lil Shavers. Get the products you need at reasonable prices from Lil Shavers, 3301 Salisbury Road in Statesville.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Bunch Johnson Funeral Home. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
Imagine being the envy of the neighborhood as you step onto your lush, vibrant lawn. Now, make that dream a reality with Drum Landscape Supply's personalized lawn plans. Say goodbye to all the guesswork and hello to your picture-perfect lawn from Drum Landscape Supply. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com today and collaborate with our experts. We'll create a plan tailored to your lawn's unique needs. Drum Landscape Supply, where dreams of the perfect lawn come to life. Visit us online at drumlandscapesupply.com and experience the difference.
Hi, it's Kathy, General Manager at Stretch Zone. Practitioner-assisted stretching is beneficial to everyone. At Stretch Zone, we customize our programs to meet our clients' needs. We are located at 20545 Torrance Chapel Road in Cornelius and 591 River Highway in Mooresville. Schedule your free stretch today at Stretch Zone Mooresville and Cornelius.
Mention you heard about Stretch Zone on WSIC and get an additional free stretch with your program.
Call now to speak with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam at 844-STUDIO-4. It's About Town on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning, Lake Norman. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and we are back with Mr. Jim Vogel, Mr. Small Business in the Lake Norman area. So, Jim, thank you for spending a little time with us today. It's
Bear.
great having you. You know, Jim's a great guy. I'm just proud to have him as a resident of my town. But, you know, he's had some challenges, and I think I want him to tell you about that from a health standpoint that have grown into a new cause that Jim has. And I don't want to leave this part of what you're all about, Jim. So tell us a little bit about your challenges and what you have done to help other people.
Well, many of you know out there, if you know me, know that I had a severe case of prostate cancer. It was aggressive. I didn't realize it. It was the day before Thanksgiving 2 years ago. Family was in the house. Doctor calls and says, Jim, your biopsy came back. It's not good. We're going to have to schedule you for this and this and that kind of test on Monday. This is Thanksgiving weekend, right? Well, that put a little bit of ploop in the punch bowl, right?
Yeah.
But I did as I was told. In fact, I said to the doctor, urologist said, am I going to die? He says, not on my watch.
Good,
so I went through
good feedback.
I went through 6 weeks of daily radiation. And then I had what's called brachytherapy, where they put a titanium seeds into the prostate to kill the cancer. And I could say right now that my PSA is a 0.6 when it was a 9.4 and doubling at the time. So I thank you to the oncologists who worked with me and to the urologists. Guys, if you're over 40, get that PSA tested. It's a teeny little needle. It's not like the 16 gauge that they use at the blood drive. It's a teeny little needle, and you can really, really find out where you're at with that. It's an indicator of problems that can come because prostates are very quiet. They're like the appendix,
Mm-hmm.
right? They don't blow up until they blow up.
Gotcha.
And so I want you, there's all sorts of choices today, but the population of Cornelius is what, Mayor?
Oh, about 33,000,
Okay.
roughly.
Well, roughly 33,000 men in the United States will die from prostate cancer this year.
Wow.
The same as the population of Cornelius.
Incredible. Pretty scary. Pretty scary. So what did you do about it, Jim?
I went like crazy to try to get fixed. I
Well,
remember
you did.
I used to have what I call cancer pants, because you have to go. They put you in this big mold thing,
Sure.
But I'm able to be a spokesperson for prostate cancer. We have Prostate Cancer Awareness USA out there. We partner with Raleigh because there isn't any core Charlotte prostate cancer organization, but there is in Raleigh. So every time I can see somebody that's the same type of demographic, I say, "Did you get your PSA tested?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?" It's your prostate. Well, isn't that like the pancreas? I go, no. Then I know that they've got to go get tested, right?
Exactly. They haven't been for sure.
They have not been.
They definitely haven't been. So you start a Facebook page and a lot of communications to let folks know that it's number one, they need to get tested, but number two, it's okay. It's okay to be worried about this. You need to be worried about it, and it's really across the board. What age should men start that testing
if
process?
you're African American, I'd say age 40 and older.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Caucasian, I would say probably age 50 and older.
Mm-hmm.
But it never hurts to have it tested. I know a gentleman that was 47 and died from prostate cancer. There's exceptions to that rule. Thing is that there's very, very good success. 88, 92% success with prostate cancer if it's caught and managed by good urologies and good oncologies. So I just out there, please, if you haven't gone, make it part of your normal medical report to have that PSA tested.
Well, we're delighted that you're where you are in your journey with prostate cancer. Jim has, I don't know how many folks I have referred to Jim. I know my brother-in-law was one of them that was having issues, and they just didn't know where to turn. So there's ways to reach folks that have been through this experience that's very non-threatening, and just give them, they need direction, right?
Yeah, reach out to me. You guys know I'm very easily found on Facebook, very easily found online. Call me, because the first thing that people tell me when they call me about prostate cancer is they're scared.
Exactly.
And not that I've been there, done that, but I have. So, it's amazing how, again, thank you, God, that we can cure that disease if it's taken care of early.
Exactly. Well, that's a good ending, and but there are others that certainly need that advice and that help. So reach out to Jim and get some one-on-one conversation and advice, and he's certainly here to help you. One of the other great aspects of my friend Jim Vogel. So back to the small business world we are talking about today. Here in Cornelius, North Carolina, or if you look at our Chamber of Commerce, the Lake Norman Chamber of Commerce, there is a huge percentage of their membership, and they've got probably 900 members or so, maybe 1,000 by now, that are small business. I mean, we are a predominant small business community right here, aren't we?
It's amazing. I was on the executive committee with the chamber for 5 years, working with my good friend Bill. And I'll tell you, about 70% of the population of the membership of the chamber is small business.
It is.
And if you start just walking from 115 where the town hall is and Kane Center is, and just start walking. Might take you a whole day, but you're going to make it to 73, right? Where it says Huntersville. Between those 2 points, the end of 73 and the end of 115 on Catawba, there's probably hundreds of businesses that are small.
Exactly.
Many we don't know about. My dream, Mayor, when you're reelected, is to let's find out who's out there in small business. There's no ID that says you're a Cornelian business.
Right.
And it would be great to have that demographic to see how many businesses we have and how many sectors we have.
Right.
And we tried that in Apex, North Carolina. And actually, they have taken and done things with it where you come in as a new business, register as a new business with Apex, and they give you a plaque and all this good stuff. And it's so feel good to know you're paid attention to and that you're involved. You know, if you pay attention to people in a positive way and involve them in what you do, you're married 50 years.
Exactly.
Right, Susan? Right, Susan? So
It's that's a incredible idea, and one that we ought to work on. We really ought to work on that here in Cornelius because we do appreciate our small business, and we want them to succeed. And I certainly want to do my part as mayor. I'm trying hard.
yeah, well, if we don't know who they are, we don't know who they are. They're in kitchens. They're on working on coffee tables. They're at the coffee shop. They're in the restaurant.
They're in their
Working.
upstairs bedroom.
Yes, or on the dashboard of their car.
Exactly.
Right? Doing the things they do. I don't know they exist.
Sure.
And man, if we did, wow, to harness the strength of our businesses here in Cornelius is just, that would be my dream, to have all of us united as one small business.
They're tucked away everywhere in our community,
They are.
and we want to help. We want to promote them, and we want to give them opportunities to get advice and direction from a lot of resources. You know, we want them to be part of this networking organization that we're talking about that Jim founded, and we want them to be part of the Chamber of Commerce as well, if that works for them at this point in their development.
Well, you've had a history of helping us in small business. You gave us legitimacy way back
Oh, thank you.
when you were on the town board. And I walked over to you and introduced myself.
You
I remember
certainly
that.
did.
I remember that day. And of course, what we really have to understand is that even last weekend, you had your puppy and you were walking around from small business to small business during that beer fest that they had.
I did.
By the Harris Teeter, and saying hi to everybody.
Right.
And, you know, to take the time, say, how are you? Thank you for being part of what we are here.
Right.
It's incredible. And I don't think everybody does that.
Well, it's important to me, and I guess that's been instilled into me as a banker for all these years because I love to get out and about. I love to spend time with people. I love to hear them express their ideas and their wishes and their dreams. I've heard that over my years, and folks talk about how much Sharon and I get out and about. Well, that's just instilled into me. That's part of my being, if you will, and I don't know how not to do that. It's we don't sit at home many nights, and I think Sharon would probably enjoy a few more than we actually do, but we do spend a lot of time out and about with our friends at many of these wonderful establishments throughout our town. So, you know, when we come back after this next break, I want things bigger and better for the LKN Small Business Network, and I want to talk a little bit as we evolve into our next segment about the future of it. What else can we do? What else can we do together as town government, chamber, or whatever to give our small businesses the support they get to be successful, here in our community? It's great having Jim Vogel, Mr. Small Business here in Cornelius, with me today. This is Mayor Woody Washam, and we will return for our final segment in a minute.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The WSIC yard sale is this weekend. Come by the radio station and enjoy a day of fun. The world-famous Pat Shannon will be hosting a special edition of the Home Ad Show. Live music, food trucks, bounty houses. Selling starts at 6 a.m. this Saturday. Yard sale spots are free. The WSIC yard sale, 1117 Radio Road in Statesville. Saturday from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. kerriganfarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa is coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures with Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must be scheduled in advance. Santa will be at Birkdale between November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Eric Jones, the magician, this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Jousting, knights, mermaids, fairies, dragons. Oh my! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies today, but that temperature is going to continue to get warmer. We're looking around 78 degrees by the time we get to the afternoon. As you head through the rest of the day into the evening, clouds will roll in. We'll have partly cloudy conditions and an overnight low around 54. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Now more About Town with Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Good morning again. Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam here, and I am with Mr. Small Business in Cornelius, Mr. Jim Vogel. Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
So, tell me your best story. I know you got a lot of stories out there because you've told me many of them. What's your best story about a special small business?
Well, it's very interesting. Angie's Alterations.
Yes.
Which is right down the street here.
I know Angie.
Julie is her name.
Oh, Julie.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's Julie, but it's Angie.
Well, I call her
Alterations, right?
Angie.
Well, do you? I walked in there one day, and she talked for me for quite a bit of time, and we invited her to our meetings. You know that she's Vietnamese. She came over in 1968. She was brought over by the Air Force because she was doing clothing alterations with the United States Air Force in Hanoi. And she came here. She's been here ever since. And she's such a cute friend of mine now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I walk in there. Do you think she'd take my money? Mm-mm.
Wow.
Nah,
Isn't that amazing?
I don't care if I gave her a boatload of tailoring to do. She goes, because we do her social media for free.
Oh, how nice.
You know, I say, hey, let's just do it because you don't have any visibility.
Right.
But see, every single business has a story. We just have to stop because it's not who you know. It's not what you know. It's who knows you.
Exactly.
That's the key to, I think, to growth and success for our small businesses.
Exactly. Exactly. So as we move forward into the future for your organization and maybe fringe components of that, how do you see the small business network here in the Lake Norman region? Let's just say 5 years from now.
I think our focus is on connections first and then on results. We really need to know that everybody that's out there needs to tap into what we're about so we know you're there. I don't know you're there unless you tell me you're there.
Exactly.
And then we can help you with all sorts of resources, camaraderie, you know, because we're all mathemagicians.
Mm-hmm.
It's a numbers game. If you are moving forward and involving yourself with other people, you will be successful.
Exactly.
There's no exceptions to that rule.
Right.
You will always be successful if you support and help each other.
Well, what's amazing is I've attended a number of your Wednesday morning meetings, and I wish I could come to all of them, but my schedule's a little rough sometimes. But you know, the ones I've attended, you know, it's incredible how many times different ones of the folks say, well, so-and-so here in the group referred me this or that, and I referred this person this or that. And, you know, that's very heartwarming to see that going on in a group of, you know, anywhere from 50 to 100 people.
You know, it's really cool how everybody really helps each other. We're not a selling network. we're a telling network.
Yes.
We share what we do every single week. In fact, you'll know the more successful of us are very short on our 30-second intro.
Right, right.
Because we know we're going to give people just enough so they're going to come over and talk to us.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of the whole scenario. Again, and we're almost like family.
Sure.
I mean, we go out to dinners together. We, go to parties together. It's not like just a regular old organization that you go to once a week or once a month. It's much more than that.
Sure.
And I just keep chasing it. It's so big that I just keep chasing it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be a conduit for that opportunity.
Right.
I'm very blessed, Mayor.
Yeah, I know you are, and I know you're very sincere when you say that too, because this certainly gives you a challenge and keeps you going big time. It really does. So I want to talk a little bit about how government officials, particularly our local government officials, play into what the small business network is all about, and also with small business, how important is that to small business? I've told you, certainly one story about one of our candidates that is running for office this year that has grown his business into a pretty major operation, then sold it for a lot of money. But anyway, what's your thought about the election process that we're right in the middle of now, and how important is that to the small business and your organization?
It's extremely important for every one of you out there to vote. It is such an important thing to do, because then you can't whine or moan when you haven't voted. I was surprised. I was at a meeting not too long ago where some people had never voted.
Isn't that incredible?
I vote in May for the school election, right? Or whatever the board is, right? I'll vote every chance I can vote because I know how important it is. And much like when you're in the service, right? You're in the armed services, small businesses are much like that. So I want our leadership across Cornelius to walk into a store and thank them for their service.
Exactly.
And say, hey, I really love your food. I really love your clothes. I thank you for having your business in our town.
Well, I feel strongly about that too, and my feeling is if an elected official isn't willing to do just that and really make that small business feel special, they probably shouldn't get elected.
Yeah, there's a list of, I don't know how many, 7 candidates for town council?
No, we've got 10.
10, okay. Well,
10
of those
candidates.
10, I could tell people by name who doesn't see anybody.
Exactly.
And I can tell you by name who does. Now, I'm not going to here, but you just pay attention to how committed your political leadership is after the election.
Right.
Great to hear stories prior. I want results.
Exactly.
And that's all we want. It's that simple. It's so simple, nobody even really gets it.
And
it's all about results.
Exactly. If they aren't willing to walk into these small businesses and spend time with them and thank them for being here, that's just the basics of to me what an elected official needs to do.
And if you take an hour and nap every day, take an hour and thank our small businesses every day.
Exactly.
Make sure that you plan it, you schedule it, you calendarize it.
Right.
So that at least 1 time, 2 times a week, you're going into a brand new store you've never been to, and you're saying, hey, I am a town board member, and I thank you for your service.
Exactly. Well, you don't do that job from your basement or your living room. You do this job by getting out talking with people. That's the most pleasant part about it to me. It really is. One of the most wonderful parts of my job as mayor is the vast number of people that I would have never, ever known in this community without that experience of serving as an elected official. So, that makes it pretty special. That's why this campaign has been really, really fun for me and Sharon as well, because yet again, we've gotten to know folks that we've never had the opportunity to get to know, including a few of our small businesses. It's connected us better to be out and about so much that we just have those opportunities to get to know these small businesses around and about. So that's a special thing for me to do.
Well, you've kept us going through COVID. You pioneered the Kane Center. You're such a supporter of our Parks and Rec. you believe in our first responders and giving them all the tools and monies they need to do their jobs every single day. And quite frankly, you make me very proud of Cornelius. So I want to continue to say, if you get a chance to vote for Woody, I'm going to step right out and tell you, vote for Woody.
Oh man, that's big.
That's big.
That's big. So I hope your small businesses will network behind you and help me with that effort too.
Well, we're apolitical, but I'm Jim Vogel here.
Exactly.
And I look at the forest from the top of the trees.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, we certainly could use another term with Mayor Woody Washam.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope that happens. We got a lot of work to do in this community with our roads and, the relationships, as I've built with many of the small businesses, are important in government too. It's important to have relationships with Mecklenburg County, with the state of North Carolina. We just got $3.5 million in this little small town of Cornelius, more than any other North Mecklenburg town from the state of North Carolina's recent budget, simply because we had those relationships in place and we went and asked for it. I can't tell you how many times I've been to Raleigh beating that drum, and it's worked. Certainly we had a lot of help from John Bradford and Vicki Sawyer and others, but it's worked. It really has, and those are important. They save our local tax payers a lot of money by getting those nice additions to our budget that we can use for specific things usually. So, and the county helps us with all kinds of parks and rec needs. They help sponsor our greenways. They've helped fund our greenways. They've helped add to our greenways with design and parks as well. They've added tennis courts. They've helped us in so many ways, but those relationships are there and they have to be in place. And if it ain't broke, Jim, why would you want to try to fix it, right?
Right. Well, the interesting thing that you said was you asked. And ask actually is an acronym.
It is.
Apply strategy with knowledge.
It's the
If you're going to ask, you're going to get what you need, but you've got to ask.
It's the foundation of what makes a small business successful.
That's right.
That's exactly right, because if you don't ask, you certainly are not going to receive, and that's just a rule of life, isn't it? So
well, I'm just very lucky to be able to help represent our small businesses, to let people know and are aware of our small businesses. And if you're out there listening, come to our meetings on Wednesdays, reach out to me, reach out to the mayor. This is really the best community I've ever lived in, and I really, really am appreciative.
And you know what? We got to work hard to keep it that way. It's such a pleasure for me to serve as mayor of my hometown. That makes the specialness of being mayor here even greater. Because I've never lived anywhere else other than being away for just a little while I was in college. But coming back and raising my family here and watching the town to grow from 1,000 people to now almost 35 people, from one stoplight to many, and one policeman to a great police department, and our safety services here in town are best you can have. So we've had a great show today. It's all about small business, all about town with Mr. Jim Vogel, Mr. Small Business here in Cornelius. It's been a great show today, and we're grateful to you for being part of it, Jim.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Really, really appreciate the time you allowed us to talk about small
Mayor
business today.
Woody Washam here, and you're about town. Thanks for listening.
SIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.